Subversion is a worn-out word, a cliche born ironically from the very act of playing with cliches. Wake Up Dead Man is not a subversion. If you're looking for a whodunit flick, this film will deliver. But if you'll join me, we'll also uncover something deeper. This donut has a larger donut around it. I'll give you an analysis of a murder mystery without spoiling the plot or the reveal. You'll see it's fun. But if you want to go in blind without any foreknowledge of the movie's themes or the way they're executed, well, this is your warning. Save this video, then come back afterwards and we can talk about it. Now if you're ready, put on your detective hats and join me. I want to answer one simple question. Why is this cross missing throughout the movie? I mean, we're given a narrative reason, but I think there's more to it. Now, you might have heard the phrase, the medium is the message. It comes from Marshall McLuhan in his book, Understanding Media. But what does that mean? Well, take any theatrical release. The screening has a predefined start and end time. You're expected to arrive on time, then sit quietly next to complete strangers, all the while limiting your phone use. Now contrast that with streaming the same movie on Netflix. You determine when your watching starts or ends. At any point you can rewind or pause the movie for, toilet break, then come back and continue side-scrolling while the movie plays at 1.5 times speed in the background. The medium itself permeates and affects our lives regardless of the actual content we're being served. To quote McLuhan, the content of a movie is a novel or a play or an opera. The effect of the movie form is not related to its program content. The content of writing or print is speech, but the reader is almost entirely unaware either of print or of speech. So while we've made the conscious decision to consume the content in question, the medium subconsciously shapes how we're meant to engage with it. Movie theaters are still something of a social event, right? While on-demand streaming encourages nights in and binge watching. Here on YouTube, you're served rows of thumbnails and titles trying to get your attention, while, for example, TikTok has you scrolling through videos without really knowing what'll come up next. And murder mysteries, by their design, want to keep you guessing. Scooby-Doo-Doo. In spite of genres not often being considered mediums in and of themselves, they shape how we approach content in much the same way. It's why you're more likely to get a laugh out of this than this.
Aren't you gonna buy me a drink first?
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Simply knowing that we're in for a comedy or a drama will reframe how we treat storytelling elements. Now let's get back to our cross, or lack thereof. From a narrative point of view, it serves as a symbol of something lacking in this church, namely empathy and grace. It was removed because Grace, the character, not the virtue, was exiled from the church, having defiled it in her greedy vengeance. Similarly, our protagonist, the priest, is shown as a man with a violent past, still struggling to process his emotions in a healthy way. His faith helps him find this wisdom, and as a priest, he chooses to wake up the best in people, encouraging them to process their shackled emotions and to let go of hate, ultimately. When the cross is returned to its place, it signals a change in the church's direction and a healing process for its community. But then why is this cross framed so prominently in the background of this shot?
You wanna get out?
Or this one?
It's not right, Father. It isn't. It's not right.
Or this?
The rafter details are very fine, though.
Let me show you what I mean. A shot like this is intentionally framed so we as the audience spot something the characters themselves are missing. It's part of the game, after all. And in much the same way, I believe the movie expects us to treat the missing cross as a clue. The term red herring refers to a narrative diversion planted by the author to intentionally mislead the audience. It could be a clue that leads nowhere, or an obvious suspect that turns out to be innocent. It could also be a missing cross that happens to linger in the background while a murder mystery takes center stage. The detective never mentions it as strange that the cross is missing, even though we as the audience are constantly being reminded of it. Throughout the movie, Benoit Blanc is obsessed with solving the question of Eve's apple. And if you've not seen the movie, don't worry about what Eve's apple is. It's like the glowing briefcase from Pulp Fiction or the Death Star plans in Star Wars. It's a plot device that moves the story forward, but is ultimately not really important to us as the audience. Now, after the movie's big reveal, when all the puzzle pieces fall into place and the mystery is solved, the missing cross and the location of Eve's apple are still left up in the air. To avoid spoilers, I'm not going to tell you how they wrap up the Eve's apple story thread, but suffice it to say that it's not by solving one final clue or a last-minute twist. The movie ends with a shot of the cross being returned to its place. The cross was never a missing puzzle piece, at least not to the mystery. So if it ended up being a red herring for you, as it was for me, it was because of our pre-existing expectations and the conventions of the murder mystery genre, rather than the movie's actual contents. And I find that fascinating. The reason I don't call this movie a subversion is because it fully delivers on its promise. We follow Benoit Blanc as he takes us through twists and revelations, occasionally throwing our own theories at the screen. Come on, be honest. Let me know down in the comments if you had a smug little dopamine rush whenever you got something right. I know I did. And you know what? The movie ending on that shot is a nod and a wink in our direction. A theme emphasized through the medium itself. We can still choose to play the game to try and solve the case before it's revealed, but along the way we'll stumble over clues to a much larger mystery. The answer to bigotry to power-hungry, abusive men running this world. Don't play into their game. Right, it's this, not this. Don't forget to take off those detective hats once in a while. Hope you liked this. If you did, I think you'll love this one next. It's about a musical where the main character doesn't want to sing. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, bye.